Today is our second full day in Chang Mai, and we are taking a small group guided tour of local attractions. After breakfast at the Bed Hotel, we were picked up at the hotel by Wendy Tour in a luxury van. We were told that our tour was a small group of 12 people. We were not told that there was another group of 12 in a following van, which made things more chaotic. We set off to our first stop, the Long Neck Village. Our guide explained that the women of the village wear metal rings around their neck from a young age, periodically adding rings so that their necks are slowly stretched to get the long neck look. We walked around and saw the villagers engaged in carving, traditional weaving, and other handicrafts, the results of which were on sale at various booths. One lady gave an impromptu concert. Our next stop was a roadside rest stop where we could buy refreshments, admire the fake waterfall, and shop for jewellery, tourist trinkets, and these cute carved wooden cat statues. We were greeted by a cauldron of bubbling and steaming hot water at our next stop. Which the guide explained was the Thawi Sin hot spring. Here the hot spring has arranged for the steaming water to flow down a series of small canals where guests could sample the waters without entering the main hot spring area. We had 15 minutes to soak our feet in the relaxing and refreshing warm waters of the hot spring, before moving on to one of the main attractions of the tour as explained by our guide, the White Temple. First, the guide lined everybody up for a group photo. Then we paid 100 baht each for admission to the temple grounds. The temple was stunningly beautiful as it almost glowed in the sunshine. Fronted by fountains and unique sculptures, the main entrance was by means of an ornately decorated bridge, which had a traffic jam from people waiting to take photos. The detailed decorations continued throughout the temple entrance area. Shoes and photos were not permitted in the temple, but I forgot to turn off my body cam, so I managed to capture some video of the interior. Outside, the back wall had a beautiful bas-relief and other decorations embedded with tiny mirrors which made the images sparkle. There was a beautifully decorated walkway at the rear of the temple. Leading to a garden area with fountains, a waterfall, statues, a large golden arch with a temple bell, and a lovely view of the side of the ornately decorated white temple. We reboarded the van for our next stop, the Blue Temple, which the guide explained to us on the way. The temple had a magnificent entranceway with gigantic blue statues on either side. A very beautiful blue and white Buddha in the garden, and a facade decorated with gold details. The main entrance featured contrasting blue and gold accents. The ceiling of the interior was similarly decorated in blue and gold, with a huge pearl-white 6.2-meter high Buddha statue at the far end of the temple. It is said that many silver and gold rings are buried under this Buddha statue for good fortune. The interior of the temple was beautifully decorated, as was the exterior of the temple. And the stupa behind the temple. The statuary in the temple gardens was equally impressive. The Blue Temple has to be one of my favorite temples of all the temples I have visited in Thailand. Next stop was a small buffet restaurant for lunch, where we helped ourselves to some Thai food and fruit. We moved on to visit the big white Buddha and enormous statue, which is actually an 80-meter, 263-foot tall representation of Guan Yi, the Buddhist goddess of mercy. After making our way inside, we were ushered into the elevator to visit the top of the statue. Where every square meter was decorated with beautiful statues and bas-reliefs in the Buddhist style. The giant statue had a third eye that one can look out of for a great view of the area. The beautiful grounds also had their share of decorations, and even a nearby pagoda. Once more, we climbed aboard the van for our last stop, the Lolita Cafe. A cafe offering coffee and cakes, set in a large, lush tropical garden with many beautiful flowers and fairy tale elements. Including a huge waterfall, incorporating statues of angels and other mythical creatures. After our visit, we headed back to Chang Mai with a brief pit stop at one of the ubiquitous 7-Elevens along the way for refreshments. It was dark when we returned to the city, so we decided to walk a few blocks to Ribs & Co. where we ordered a full rack of ribs, 2 orders of onion rings, and a salad from their extensive menu. It was delicious and a great ending to an amazing day of sightseeing. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment.